Jan friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. ISRO today can do much of what NASA can do at a fraction of the cost, and which is why the world is flocking to India and saying, hey, we want to send a satellite, we want to send a rocket in space, can you help us? Okay, I'm raising the gas bills. So suddenly overnight per litre 20 rupees gas bill increase, and suddenly the problem of the gas bill has become greater than the electricity bill problem. Jan friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. Many congratulations to everybody in India and across the world. Aditya L1 has taken off and the launch has been spectacularly successful. Now the name is actually PSLV C57. Now PSLV C57 is the name of Aditya L1. Aditya in Sanskrit means the sun. So if you have any friends or relatives called Aditya, Aditya means the sun. All right. And now let me give you a few details which you will enjoy. The aim of Aditya L1, now a lot of people are asking, why does India invest so much? So what is the aim of Aditya L1? To study solar activities and its effect on the space weather. So apparently there is a weather in space. We often think that only Earth has the weather. Space also has a certain kind of weather. To study, solar activities. So what the Aditya L1 is going to do is, you see, when we observe the sun from the Earth, there are eclipses. But where the position, the position that the Aditya L1 takes, is going to rotate along with the sun and it's going to observe the sun. So it's going to be constant. There are no solar eclipses. That is a big plus. We have spoken about the solar weather, and also it is designed for providing remote observations of the solar corona and conduct in situ observations of the solar wind. Solar winds. So there are high intensity solar winds. It's going to study solar winds at L1, Sun Earth Lagrangian point. Now this is the point, Lagrangian point, which is why it's called Aditya L1, L for Lagrangian. It's going to be stationed there. The total distance where Aditya has to travel from the Earth is approximately 1.5 million kilometers, which is 15 lakh kilometers. Just imagine, ladies and gentlemen, the kind of journey that Aditya L1 will make. And this is truly writing of history. And I think India's space program has come of age, because the total money spent on the Aditya project is 378 crores. There are Indian movies recently who have made, more money than the total spend on this project, Aditya L1, which is fantastic. They were earlier comparing them to Hollywood movies, but today I would say that ISRO has come of age, and such with resources which are much lesser than NASA. Let's be very honest here. With resources much lesser than NASA, they have managed to crack that code, that secret sauce of getting world-class projects in very competitive costs. I'm not going to call it cheap. I'm saying very competitive costs. So ISRO today can do much of what NASA can do at a fraction of the cost, and which is why the world is flocking to India and saying, hey, we want to send a satellite, we want to send a rocket in space, can you help us? Which is why Prime Minister Modi said that I want private participation in the space program. Private participation. Over a period of time, you're going to have a lot of Indian companies sending rockets into the air. This opens up a whole new horizon of how people look at space exploration. You never know. Tomorrow, there would be a colony on the moon, right? Something like people living there, people farming on the moon, because there is water on the moon already. People farming, people living on the moon, specially enclosed enclosures with Earth-like atmospheric conditions. You never know, maybe 20, 30 years in the future, this is likely to happen, and which is why these things are so important. There is going to be excavation for minerals. You never know. I mean, words escape me. I'm fumbling for words because I don't know what to say, because my mind is unable to comprehend the vastness of space and what these guys at ISRO are doing. I mean, this is truly path-breaking, truly path-breaking. Another news that I have for you is that Modi-Biden bilateral meet is going to happen on 8th of September ahead of the G20 summit. And, President Biden, White House said that President Biden will commend PM Modi for his leadership of G20. This is something that, this is a diplomatic courtesy that you're supposed to do. And so the president of G20, which is India, will host global leaders for the summit. You know how Delhi has undergone a makeover and there is this tight blanket security all over Delhi. This is going to be truly exciting. Now, friends, there are 2-3 things that I'd like to tell you here. There are 2 things that Biden and Prime Minister Modi will have to talk about, I guess. One is China and the one is Ukraine, Russia. There is no escaping these 2 conversations, even if Xi Jinping says, oh, I'm not coming. All right? Maybe he'll say that, and we fully expect Xi Jinping not to come. Maybe he will, but most likely he will not, right? And Putin is, of course, not coming because there are problems. There is an arrest warrant out for Vladimir Putin. Now, just think about it. Here is the world's greatest democracy, the world's largest democracy. Almost no China in that meeting because obviously Xi Jinping is not coming. And even if the premier comes, that's all right, he's not going to be part of this meeting. So Prime Minister Modi and the American president are going to discuss the future of the world as far as China is concerned, as far as Russia and Ukraine are concerned. And let me break it down in easy to digest pieces for you. Number 1, China is something that both America and India are together in terms of how to confront China. So this new map will come under discussion. India supplying weapons to Vietnam and other countries will come under discussion. What does India do if Taiwan is invaded? Of course, India will not attack China if Taiwan is invaded, but what can India do? There are so many other things that India can do which will cause pressure to the Chinese or upon the Chinese. What will the other countries do? This is likely to come on for discussion. Second is, what India will tell, this is my guess, all of it may or may not come in the media, there will be a closed door meeting, but my guess is Prime Minister Modi is going to call for peace in the Russia-Ukraine war. He's going to call for peace and he's going to say just one thing, right? He's already said that this is not an era of war. He has said this. What he's going to say is that the West, and this is something that I hold very dearly, to my heart, the West needs to stop supplying weapons to Ukraine. See, there are 2 things. First of all, you want to condemn Russia for its aggression, fine. Fine. Russia should not have invaded. Yes, you pushed Russia to a point where Russia invaded, but that aside, forget that logic. Just discard that logic. Okay? Now, Russia should not have invaded, let us say. Russia should not have invaded. Okay? No problem. Now, the second step here is that does the West want the war to stop or the West does not want the war to stop? Because the kind of efforts the West has done in terms of arming and financing Ukraine are 100 times more than the West's call to peace. There are no calls to peace from the West, credible calls to peace. I have not seen any big Western leader saying that, hey, I take responsibility, Vladimir Putin comes sit and, Zelensky comes sit and let's sort this out. I haven't seen that sort of a bold maneuver. But supplying of weapons to Ukraine, yes. Going to the Congress and saying that, we need $5 billion more to give to Zelensky. The US is doing that. Why? What is the end game for the US here? What is the end game? The US's end game is not peace in Russia and Ukraine. The US's end game is the breakup of Russia. And Russia knows that if it stops the war right now, these people will enter Russia and break up Russia once more, because Russia knows what they have done in the past. There was the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, USSR, 1979 to 89 after the Afghan war. 1990 it started breaking up. 1989, 1991. It broke up into so many countries, dozen countries. And Russia has seen that harrowing time. And Russia does not want a repeat of that nonsense happening again. And Russia will do whatever it can to ensure that it does not happen again. And it should not happen again. But the West wants exactly that. It wants a breakup of Russia. It wants Russia broken. It wants Russia defeated. It wants Russia partitioned. It wants Russia on its knees. That is why they're giving weapons to Ukraine. And this is something that Prime Minister Modi would ideally bring up. Apart from China, now coming to China, I think as far as China is concerned, they're going to say that trade, how more American companies can be encouraged to leave China and come to India, because this is Prime Minister Modi's pet project, Atmanirbhar Bharat. There are so many projects that he has launched, but I think if you say that if there is one project that is extremely close to Prime Minister Modi's heart, it is none other than, Atmanirbhar Bharat and Make in India and all that. He's very passionate. I've spoken to so many army officers and all, senior ones, and I've spoken to so many people in our defense industry, right? And they say that whenever we meet the Prime Minister, he speaks very passionately. Or whenever we meet somebody in MOD or somebody, some top army people, Navy and Air Force people, Atmanirbhar Bharat is something that they keep on saying that no, we don't want foreign equipment. What we want is make in India, make it well, make world-class stuff, we'll buy it from you. This is what they are repeating. This is what I hear. Apart from that, the last news for the day, ladies and gentlemen, is very interesting. Pakistan's caretaker Prime Minister, Anwarul Haq Kakad, in Pakistan, there have been suicides, my friends. People have been killing themselves because of electricity bills, because the electricity bills are so high that 80-90% of the monthly salary goes in paying off all these bills only. So it's very tough on people. It's very tough on people in Pakistan. People have committed suicide. People have attacked electricity companies' offices. People have beaten up people who have come to, disconnect the meters or cut the meters from their houses because they are unable to pay. And there is violence happening. People have even burnt currency notes. Can you imagine? People are burning, not that Pakistani currency is worth very much, but these people are burning currency notes. And there is widespread discontent. There is a rioting happening in Pakistan as I speak these lines. But Anwarul Haq Kakad, he says this is all nonsense. He's saying, yeah, this is a non-issue. I don't know why the people are getting so riled up. So here are the words. He's saying it's not a very serious issue, but political parties are in election mode and using it as a social cause. I realize their position. This is the Prime Minister of Pakistan, by the way. Yeah, I realize the position. If I were to contest the election, I would have followed the same as well. Which means that this is nothing but political posturing. People want to win elections, and that is pretty much it. There is nothing. So what if a couple of people commit suicide? And the great joke played upon the people of Pakistan? When the people of Pakistan started complaining about high electricity costs and said, no, we want some sort of, we want some sort of easing of pressure because this is too much. We can't pay for our kids' education. We can't pay for the health or medical treatment of our aged parents. We can't pay for the rent or for food. We can't put food on the table. Please, do something that this pain of the electricity bill becomes less. So the Pakistani Prime Minister Anwarul Haq Kakad, he plays a joke on the people of Pakistan and he says, okay, I'm raising the gas bills. So suddenly overnight per litre, 20 rupees gas bill increase. And suddenly the problem of the gas bill has become greater than the electricity bill problem. And people have, started grappling with a new problem. This is your typical Pakistani way of solving issues. So ladies and gentlemen, with that, I come to the end of today's video. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to press the bell icon. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata Ki Jai.